And hello, my fellow nerds. This is Orlam here, and welcome back to our Wonderland Remastered Steam release. So last time we were actually spending time with we got saved by Jerry and his merry band of rabbits from a bunch of redheaded tomatoes, and we also spent some quality time with Genzo. And now we're heading over to Orlam's castle to hopefully snap him out of his trance. And we're off again, flying from building to building, staying in the shadows as much as possible. The sounds of combat are nearer now. Hear them when we stop. Between my harried breaths as I struggle to swallow oxygen. It sounds somewhat intense. Did the first squad really meet with so much resistance? There weren't even supposed to be that many rabbits left by the time the first squad started towards the gate. The thought makes my stomach twist as I clench my fingers in the dirt by my knees. Another signal from the lead rabbit. We're off again. Halfway towards the moat perhaps, but it's hard to gauge. I clench my eyes shut, then back open, fighting back the nausea swirling in my belly and the coppery tang on my tongue. I only focus on the shadowy shapes in front of me. Keep up with them. That's all I have to do. That's when a sudden blur of motion streaks across my path. Okay. Okay, genuinely, that actually got me. That actually genuinely got me scared a little bit. Oh, God. I yelp and screech to a halt, so fast that my feet slip out from under me and I go back flat on my ass. It's the rabbit, one of the king's men. Its ears and lips are curled back as it surveys the perimeter, sets its sights on me. The growl rolling off his tongue sends tendrils of panic up through the base of my brain. I give a little whimper, crawling backwards through the grass. Here again his voice, the sound of him and Gidget turning around. But there's no way they'll make it in time. I see a rabbit reel back, his fur standing on end and eyes wide. He lets out a shriek, then Jerry leaps over my head and tackles him to the ground. Through a tumbling flurry of limbs and fur. When Jerry regains a momentary upper hand, pinning the other rabbit to the ground, he shoots all three of us a glare. Just stand there! Run! I do as I'm told, scrambling to my feet and streaking towards Genzo and Gidget. Then we're running. I just catch Jerry plunging his dagger into the other rabbit's throat with a squelch before we go barreling over to the next corner. We don't stop. Racing. I look around wildly for the rest of the squad, and Gidget throws their hands out at a rough grunt and points at them out. They're not stopping anymore either. And in just a moment I see why. A shriek, followed by another, and another. Flashes of brown fur leaping out of the shadows, down from the rooftops. Fuck, there's so many of them. I thought the whole plan was supposed to let us avoid these guys. Gendo huffs through his ragged breaths. Yeah, well, we couldn't. A flash in front of us. Something thuds against the ground, causing us to stop short. And just about to lose my lunch over all the grass of the site. It's one of the Iggy's oily. It's barely recognizable. Lives half bitten off inside like party flavors. A giant chunk gouged of its neck, and head hanging by nothing more than a few stringy threads. I bring my head to my mouth in instinct. Another flash. Rabbit leaps down the nearest roof and lands on the Iggy's body. Gooey squelches another leaping, helping of its innards squeeze out of its limp body. Gidget whips out their dagger with a half-silent curse as Genzo's arm flies up between me and the rabbit. But our defensive efforts prove pointless when a second thud comes from behind us. We whirl around to see another rabbit leering at us, its jaws ready red with blood. I take a step back, heart beating so loud in my chest I can barely hear. The first rabbit rears back with a shriek, then jumps. This time, the block comes from the front. One of the rabbits from our squad is back, leading straight into the incoming rabbit, slamming into the ground. A second assailant screeches and leaps towards them. The three of us take off as more and more screeches continue to fill the air. It's not next to us. I nearly scream and realize it's just another one of our allies. He's ready to He's already boasting a fresh scratch on his own arm, dagger at the ready as he runs along beside us. Past more and more buildings, some of the fresh red stains. Over a stone fence, the body of one one of our slain allies draped over the top. Fuck. It wasn't supposed to be like this. Motion to our right. I saw 2 enemy rabbits feasting on the body of an Iggy in the shadows between the buildings. One looks up as we pass, then charges it with a shriek. But our accompanying alley rabbit is there to block the attack. He lifts with a kick and slams the other rabbit down into the ground, dagger plunging with a geyser of blood. I push myself faster. I can see the building start to thin out up ahead. Past that, the darkened umbra of the moat. We're almost there. We just need to follow the moat westward to the sewers. The will, more strength, more speed into my legs. The wind and exertion sending tears to my eyes, blurring my already hazy vision. Gidget veers first left. I see them pause only for a moment to check that the two of us are still following. That they continue to sprint. Genzo follows close behind, nearly wiping it as a slick piece of gravel before raising himself with a fuck, and then resuming his force velocity. Then me. I cut the corner just a bit, not caring that it takes me closer to a half-obscured patch of brush. Only worrying about not falling behind, not letting any of those things catch up to me. Around the corner with a twist of my heels. Only for a rabbit to brush to pounce. He hits me square from the side, sending me flying, bouncing, tumbling down the path. For a moment I can't see. Can't even breathe. Just rolling and sliding and skidding as the gravel bites in my shoulders and arms. Then I come to a stop, head still spinning. Only see a rabbit perch over me, a hungry leer. I surveyed it wide-eyed. Then on pure instinct, I reach a retractable dagger on my belt loop and stab. I tip of the dagger goes in with surprising ease. And I thrust it into the hilt, up to the hilt, with the fur of the next rabbit's neck tickling my fingers. The rabbit still seems surprised at first. Let's out a screech, body writhing backwards in pain. I check the dagger out, raising it above my head for a second stab, but the rabbit is ready this time. Before my hands can descend, descendants grab my arms in a fleshy twist, nearly yanking them from their sockets. Without a yelp. Then I open my eyes in horror as I watch the rabbit huge head lunge towards my wrist. There's a visceral squelch. My jaw drops in a silent scream. Pupils trembling, but just staring, trying to comprehend the sight in front of me. His teeth are through my arm. I choke, sputter, probably eke out a heady groan. My fingers, my arm, my entire body shaking and twitching. Razor sharp crackles of pain explode from the point of entry, blood bubbling up around the rabbit's teeth and leak rivers down my skin. In a panic, I attempt to yank my arm away, but the rabbit's grip is too tight. It only makes more firecrackers explode across my vision. Genzo, Gidget! My eyes go hot with tears, my head swimming. But it's neither Genzo or Gidget that appears. The brown flashlight launches itself at my assailant. Before I have a chance to process it, it's gone, tumbling off to the side, a flurry of rolling bodies and blood. Jerry slams the rabbit's head into the ground with an angry snap. The resulting crunch of the skull makes my stomach roil. He turns to me, eyes sharp. It's all I can do is stare back at him, lips trembling, red-soaked arm and points from the attack. Shit! Jerry wipes the streak of blood, painting his chin. Then grabs my good arm and yanks me 20 feet without a word. Then we're running, sprinting. I can barely keep up. Mostly forcing himself to run at a more reasonable pace, but even that's too fast. I can feel my legs struggling beneath me, my arms screaming like I'm on a treadmill turned up too high 1 second from flying off. But it's not to last. There's a shriek from in front of us. Just gets to start and our rabbit launches itself out of the shadows and blocks our path. I run into Jerry from behind with a yelp. Brain attempted to make heads or tails of each subsequent rapid-fire development. The rabbit reels back as it hunches, then leaps. Jerry shoves me out of the way as the rabbit hits him square in the chest. They go roiling, dirt and grass flying. Jerry comes out on top, slamming in the other rabbit face first to the ground before yanking his ears back and sliding his dagger across his throat. There's a screech. The rabbit comes streaking out from the trees to the left. Then another. This one bounding up the path, first stained red. I back up. Jerry grabs back on my shirt and tears me out of the way as he shoves one of his incoming rabbits to the ground with a gut-wrenching thud. It all happened so fast. His hook flies up into my throat as my legs and arms flail helplessly in the air. Flung first left, then right, like some kind of limp ragdoll as Jerry turns towards the other rabbit. Last time is its hairy charge before twisting around with a kick and slamming it to the ground. Jerry doesn't wait to see if this one's down for good. He takes off. This time tucking me against his chest and upping his speed. All I can do is clench my eyes shut and burrow my face into the fabric of his cloak as the ground whizzes beneath me. We have to be almost there by now. We have to. I feel tears well up in my eyes again. The pain, the panic, the sheer tumult happening around me sending my heart and brain into continuous overdrive. The next attack surprises both of us. A rib-cracking jolt from the right. I hear something snap inside Jerry's chest as the world goes upside down. We're rolling. At some point in a dizzy tumble, we get separated. I go skidding, rocks biting into my cheek. My left arm leaving me a brilliant red streak across the gravel. A loud, haggard moan, body limp and trembling. I can't move. I can barely think. Not even as the rabbit who assailed us turns his sights to me and comes jetting across the path. I clutch her shut with a whimper, but the attack doesn't come. Jerry is rolled on top of me. The charging rabbit latches onto his back instead, plunging his teeth into Jerry's shoulder. He lets out a shriek of his own, but doesn't move. Just lies there, body curled up over me like some kind of protective shell. I feel my heart twist. It digs its teeth in deeper, twisting its head left, right, clamping down on the muscle and tissue. Jerry wins, ears curling in pain as the arms tremble around me. More shrieks around us. Come on, Iggy, just get up and run, dude! They're all around us now, closing in. Watching horror as another rabbit lunges forward, its teeth clamping around Jerry's leg. His body gives another jolt, face contorting, but he still doesn't move, even as I hear his skin gets rent between his massive teeth. He turns his gaze towards the path ahead, one eye clenched shut in agony. You're almost there, Kit! He hisses, voice hoarse. I follow his gaze to see almost twist around the gray spackle of concrete peeking over the small hillock. The sewer. My eyes find where to start. I jerk back towards Jerry with a flurried shake of my head. Run! Don't stop! Promise me! Another shake. The tears are springing back to my eyes, building panic, springing my heart into mad gallop. Jerry lets out another grunt in surprise as the third rabbit leaps onto him, jaws descending on his backside. His arms are quaking now, barely able to keep himself aloft. Doesn't stop him from shooting a glare, that just about drinks the blood in my face. You fucking idiot! Run! Something snaps me into action. And with the harried scattering of dirt and rocks and grass, I scramble out from under him and to my feet. Run, 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 run! Don't look back. I can't look back. I have tripped. I stumble forward, sprint, sail, fly. I don't even notice I'm screaming until my throat gives a scratchy crackle. My lungs starting to give out. I still keep running. Numb feet pounding the earth. Wind lashing my cheeks. I go tearing around the small hill, feet sliding in dirt and dust. It's there. It's there. Large concrete embankment. Dark round hole in the side. The metal bars like giant rusted teeth. Gento and Gidget are already there on the other side of the bars, beckoning me towards them, reaching, shouting at me. I will everything I have to final push. Under a shake that rattles my lungs, I fly through the bars, past them, slipping in the muck and going tumbling into the concrete surface. Fuck, 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 fuck. The river of black goop oozing down the center of the pipe splashes up around me, sizzling sparks of pain up and down my arms, searing my cheeks. I quickly roll out of it, off to the side, limp gasping, just lying there in the surrounding grime. For just a second, I'm still wondering if I'm breathing. If I'm still alive. Dizzy dancing view of the dark round the walls around me, spinning before finally settling into fuzzy stillness. Then Gento and Gidget are there, their arms around me, their voices soft, scared, panicked, but there. There for me and grounding me and keeping the shock from fully claiming me, even as the dark, dank chill of the sewer seeps up into my clothes and skin. We made it. We made it. Let the thought wash over me as I close my eyes and tremble and mew. Then I lose it, and the tears begin to delve down my cheeks. And that's just the beginning of this episode. My God. We move further into the sewers before stopping to recoup. Even if the rabbits can't get through the bars, we don't have any desire to draw their attention further. And so I lean on Genzo's shoulder as we wander the length of the giant concrete conduit, careful to avoid the shallow creek of black mire bisecting its base. It eventually widens, opening up to a larger square adequate built around the basin of the water. Clean, surprisingly, at least from what I can tell. But past it is pipe after giant pipe pumping out more and more of the same miasmatic muck from the river. It lurches and slobs as it spews from the pipe into the channel below, where it forks off into the other system of ducts that siphons it out of the castle. It's here that we finally pause to collect our breath and our wits. The acid seems to originate from here then? Get muses as their gaze flicks around the chamber. They stop to watch the acidic sludge ooze and weep through the troghs. Radioactive shit wasn't on my bingo card for post memorified Orlam, but hey, he did have some pretty fucked up eating habits. I'm not so sure this is excrement. The pipes are everywhere, jutting out from the walls, protruding from the ceiling, bubbling up from the ground. All of them are churning out more and more of the stuff, funneling out of the castle into the river, the lake, the waterways beyond. It seems to be seeping through every inch of the place, a constantly frothing poison surging within the walls. Stick by yourself. Where's taking my Genzo? I both shaken and shaky, and the pain in my wrist has turned into a dull throb that travels the entire length of my arm. Genzo holds me gently onto the lip of the basin. This lets me wait until I curl my fingers around the fabric of his jacket. I see his eyes widen at first and soften. He sits down beside me, fingers warm as he helps me wash the blood off my arm, gentle as he tears off a hunk of fabric from my shirt and wrap it in. It won't do a lot of good. The wound is too deep, and the blood yet congealed. But it'll keep me from bleeding all over everything at least. His brows furrow as he looks at it, his eyes dark with concern. Once he's finished, I take a moment to close my eyes, bask in the quiet of the darkness. And Genzo puts a hesitant arm around my waist and I'll pull away. It's a comforting touch, one that stills the tremble of my lips and the flutter of my heart. Usually takes its time to search our environs. I watch them wandering about, their hands on their hips as they study surrounding walls. Looks like there's a hatch, they simply say. I follow their gaze towards the vague outline of a door in the ceiling near the far wall. Reaching it would be somewhat tricky, but between a couple of raised platforms and a series of indented handholds, we should be able to make it work. Give ourselves another 10 minutes or so to ensure we're good and ready before making the climb. Despite my trepidation at what lies on the other side, I can't deny my desire to get out of the damp sewerway. My, my teeth are starting to chatter, and as we stand facing the first raised platforms, Genzo brows twist in worry. Your lips are turning fucking blue, Wigs. Just a little cold is all, I rub my bare arm. My clothes aren't exactly suited for this kind of environment. And the cold water that I'd washed my arm with certainly hadn't helped. Come on, we'll be out of here soon. These gestures before pulling themselves up on the platform, offering an arm out first to me, then to Genzo. Then the three of us are making our way skyward. Aside from the slick veil of slime covering everything, it's not particularly a difficult climb. But we take it slow all the same. Not keen on any more errors in judgment before we've even made it inside. At the top, Gidget gives the mossy handholds a moment of scrutiny before saying, "The hell with it," and launching himself upwards. "Hold me, will you?" They, they grunt beneath their breath. Ignacio grabs a hold of their legs to keep them from falling backwards as they begin pushing and prodding at the square-shaped door overhead. It's stuck! A breathy huff. Followed by another grunt, this one elongated as they push their hands against the grimy surface of the door. There's a grinding noise, the crack of stone on stone, that slowly, ever so slowly, begins to move. "You got it! Keep pushing it! Just a bit further!" Gigi lets out a bark of exertion. I see the muscles of their arms trembling as they heave the heavy stone block up and out of the way. It sighs with a heady groan, thick gobs of mud squishing out between the cracks as it gives away. Gigi simply gazes up at their handiwork for a moment, wiping the sweat at their brow. Then refines their grip on the handholds and pulls themselves up to the newly opened hole. "Come on," I hear them say before disappearing into the void. Gigi shoots me a shrug, the umbrella arcs, and climbs up after them. After one last glance at clammy murk of the adequate aqueduct before following suit. Like, I want to say I apologize for not having much commentary. It's just that this remaster still amazes me even nowadays. We emerge in a world of blackness, complete and utter darkness, to the point where I can't see my hands in front of my face. And a clatter in my left makes me jump, but it's followed up by a string of four-letter words and a grumble of exasperation from Genzo. Did his royal turd nuggets not pay his electricity bill or what? I hear Genzo push himself back to his feet with a groan. His voice comes from a short distance away. "We seem to be in some sort of storage room. Is there a light or something?" I try reaching out, only to probably knock a handful of cans off a nearby shelf. The glowing racket makes a heart leap into my chest for a second time. I'm looking. Maybe he got tired of looking at himself in the mirror and turned off the lights. Found it. A click. Then a second click. Rapid fire series of clicks on and off. But the room remains shrouded in spine-chilling obscurity. The light doesn't work. Brilliant deduction. Try for the door? If we can at least get out of wherever this is. More clumsy searching. I try for the left, only to probably whack my head in the corner of a box. I hear Gitchin Genzo having similar luck on the other side. A thud, followed by a rattle. No string of curse words from Genzo. God, fuck this fucking hellhole of a fuck house. Then the sound of a door clicking. Ah! Creak! Gitchin pulls the door open. Ah, so bright! And three of us are bathed in moonlight. For just a moment, we can do nothing but stand there, staring out past the doorframe. The Gitchin places a hesitant step forward, and another, walking slowly and silently out into the hall. The rest of the castle is as dark as a storage room. No lights, no candles, none of the sparkling chandeliers I recall from my memories. But the large windows allow a giant swaths of moonlight to coat the walls like buttered milk, casting everything in a vivid contrast and sending long, jagged shadows across the marble floors. It's quiet, deathly quiet, except for the soft pitter-patter of the rain starting to dot the window panes. The rumble of thunder in the distance makes my already queasy stomach twist in anxious nausea. Don't tell me he's been down here watching Interview with a Vampire on repeat. Genzo's voice shudders despite the fastidious remark. There's certainly an unsettling ominousity to this place. Where is everyone, though? The rabbits? The nobles? Take a step out into the gloom, watching as the shadows curl into different patterns behind me. Genzo holds a hand to his mouth as though stage whisper. "I think they were EATE. We don't know that. Come on, no point in staying around here in the dark." They readjust their pants with a huff and takes off down the hall. I fall into a fluttered step behind them, hair in my arms standing up like a caterpillar fur. As behind us, Genzo takes one last look towards the windows and the slowly building rain before jogging after us. Our footsteps echo off the walls as we walk. Shadows jumping at every step. It's surreal. Everything's so deathly quiet around us. As I stare up at the soaring pillars and haunting ceilings, I can still picture them in their heyday, glittering with golds and reds as rabbit attendants shuffle about in their cleaning. Now, however, a visceral sense of melancholy seems to coat the walls, dripping down onto our shoes. Outside, the rain is picking up. The occasional flash of lightning illuminates our surroundings in shutter flickers that reveal this decrepit state of things. Overturned furniture, paintings, mirrors, and other chandeliers lying cracked against the wall or shattered across the tile. Wallpaper ripped and scratched and boasting of color stains that make my stomach twist. Fascinating, especially a large portrait of Orlam in all its regal glory, flaunting gaudy velvets and surrounded by all assortment of expensive-looking fineries. This one is still on the wall, but with a brilliant flash in the window, I could see that it's no less spoiled. Three giant slices have been hacked across the painted surface, bits of the canvas dangling to reveal the frame beneath. Here's a whistles beneath the breath. Guess someone wasn't happy with that one. A loud thunderclap punctuates his quip. I, I wince and step just a bit closer to the others. Still no sign of him, though. His castle is ridiculously large. Gidget grimaces, staring off in the dark. I'm not even sure where to... His room. Both Gidget and Gizzo turn to look at me, faces colored in surprise. I turn my own gaze downward, rolling sheepishly at the back of my neck. I mean, if I had to guess is all. And then, almost without afterthought, I could probably take us there. They both just stare at me for a moment. The Gidget steps back, arm outstretched as though inviting me forward. Lead the way, then. Now someone forward awkwardly, not used to taking point. But I try to bury my abashment, at least temporarily, so I can focus on the task at hand. Things may look different for sure, and it's an awful lot darker. But I walked these halls many times. I can navigate through them now. I got us out of the current corridor to the left, down a wider passage lined with shattered chandeliers and cracked tile from the once grand mosaic that had lines the ceilings. As I glance up at it, my mind flicks instantly back. Me starting one evening to stare up at it after a particularly filling dinner. Willem slinking up beside me as he so often did, arm around my waist while he regales the tale of its history. The King's Reception, he called it, showcasing his triumphant arrival in Wonderland and the reverence with which he had been first crowned. Now, however, the pieces of his once proud moment are laid battered and broken on the ground. I bite down on my lips so hard I could taste blood, but continue my forward trek all the same. Another boom of thunder, so loud that this time it shakes at the walls. God, I hate this so much. I clench my eyes shut, then back open. Focus, Iggy. Everything is fine. You're fine. Take us around the next corner to the right, following the route of memories dancing through my head. At the next junction, the hallway winds down to a large entryway, looming stairwell standing in its center. I start up the steps without a word. You, certainly seem to know where you're going, Gendo muses behind me. I assume this is some kind of pointed statement, and that is supposed to respond with explanation for my knowledge. But the combination of shame and unease, nostalgia, keeps my mouth glued shut. More and more memories come filtering back across the forefront of my mind, the further up the stairs we climb. When I glance towards the landing, I have expected Orlam to be there, standing there. Hands on his hips as he teases about something I said, something I'd done, the way I'd react to one of those nobles at dinner that night. But there's nothing and no one there. Just unending darkness. When I step out onto the upper level, I glance back. Both Genzo and Gitcher are just eyeing me curiously. We're, almost there, is all I say. Then renew my maudlin slog. This final quarter sears my mind like an electric poker. Yes, I'd walked down this one many, many times. But now there's something foreboding about it. An incessant dull film of misery settling over everything like a heavy cloud. And the further we walk, the worse it gets. What the fuck? Genzo's voice gives a heart jump. I see him turn and gesturing the walls. They're covered. Thick, sloppy red stains spackle the surface of like an abstract painting. Dark, dried clots punctuate the chaos of lumps of coal. Beneath everything, crayon-like scribbles run jagged lines up and down the entire surface of the plaster. All of us just stand there for a moment, gaze flickering across the grotesque creation. What was that? We don't know that back in the hall, Gidge? Or even Gidget looks uneasy now. Their lips pressed together tight, their shoulders rigid. My hope perhaps influenced my optimism. My own stomach feels like it's twisting into tens of thousands of tiny knots. Up ahead, I see some waxy crayon scribbles escape the wall and continue across the marble floor, zigzagging their way towards the door at the end of the hall. The door. The door I can still see it, the fresh, vivid in my memories, as though it were yesterday. I swallow hard. Spit getting stuck in my throat, but push forward anyway, towards the door. Wherever that it is that awaits beyond. The handle seems to buzz beneath my fingertips. A strange sort of electricity passing between the metal and my dizzying thoughts. I pause, hesitant. Then let my fingers wrap fully around the round surface, sticky against my palm, and pull. The door cracks open. Strangely, strangely tinny in the silent corridor. Yeah. And the three of us walk inside. The air crackles. A sense of unreleased tangible in the shadows. It's dark, deathly dark. The only light from the row of tall windows along the far wall, now bare of the scarlet curtains they once boasted. My skin feels alive, electric crackles creeping up my arms and legs along the back of my neck. And for a moment, I could do nothing but stand there as the shadows close in around me. Then another thunderclap. It fills the room with a roar of the roar of a mighty beast, walls trembling, windows rattling in their frames, hidden items quake in the darkness. For a second, the room becomes saturated with a blinding luminescence, a brilliant camera flash that imprints on my vision. My dear friends. It's been so long. Orlam? Apologies. I would have made myself more presentable had I been informed of your visit. My men have gotten a bit lax at keeping me abreast of the goings-on beyond these walls. He looks awful. Even in the dim light of the moon from the windows, I can see the gaunt grooves of his cheeks, the darkened circles outlining his eyes, the grayish-green tint of his skin. Your men? Genzo takes a step forward, eyes sharp. You mean the homicidal were-rabbits prowling this place like a long-eared bat out of hell? Will crosses his arms nonplussed. They do get a bit testy sometimes. Then waggles the figure in a matter-of-fact in the air. Nothing a little treat can't assuage. I'll show you a little treat you've... But Gidget cuts in before Genzo can start his tirade. What the hell's going on here, Orlam? The castle, the rabbits, the state of this place. Orlam brings his hand to his chest in faint shock. You're implying there's something wrong? He spins around with a flourish, like a daisical smile playing on his lips. I admit, it might take some getting used to. It has its charms once you learn to see it. Charm? Genzo snorts. If you're the Grim Reaper, maybe. Orlam's smile widens, he tilts his head with a strange little sway. And here I'd almost begun to miss your irrelevant witticisms. We're worried about you. The words come tumbling out of my mouth before I can stop them. When Orlam flicks his gaze towards me curiously, I let my eyes drop. I mean, just that it's all a bit concerning, and with all of us remembering now, I wasn't sure how how I what, Iggy? Orlam asked with an impish grin. How I handled it? I laugh. He saunters over, with slight loath coloring his steps, then pops my chin with his finger. Yes, all those memories rushing back was quite overwhelming, wasn't it? Those many shared moments, shared words, pain. That tingling sensation of death finally claiming our consciousness and the sweet release again and again and again. He leans forward, lips practically touching my ear. Then let out a heavy sigh that dances across my skin. It was excruciating. Get your hands off him. Genzo grabs Orlam's wrist and jerks him away, which just makes Orlam hum beneath his breath in amusement. He leans towards Genzo instead. Ah yes, there's no need to hide it anymore, is there? He knows everything now. Your woe-begone pining from afar. Oh, the sweet sorrow of love's unbiding yearnings. He reels forward in an over-embellished stagger, forcing Genzo to take a step back. Genzo snores and tries to pull away. Yes, but Orlam isn't done yet. He is this time sidestepping behind Genzo, hands on his shoulders up in his hair. He sinks it against Genzo's back as he presses his face up against his hairline. I imagine some of those memories were a lot. He dances his finger up the zipper of Genzo's jacket. For you. His eyes tighten as he pulls back with a scowl. What the fuck would you know? But the tremble in his voice betrays his apprehension. Oh, I think I know a lot, a grin. After all, I did get so many delightful tastes. He paused, slings on Genzo's other side as his gaze rises towards me. As did someone else. My heart jumps, panic shooting out through my chest with a stifling jolt. I take a small step back. Genzo blinks, looks up at me. What's that supposed to mean? Orlam finally pulls away, smile morphing once into amused disbelief. Oh my, they didn't know? He tucks it in the back of his throat, and here I assumed everything had been laid out but on the table by this point. What are you talking about, Iggy? Gidget this time. I can't say it. What am I supposed to say? I drop my gaze, clasping and unclasping my hands again and again. Chest feels like it's in a vise. I can't feel the heat building behind my eyes. Yes, what is he talking about? Orlam saunters towards me this time. I suddenly desperately wish the floor would open up and swallow me whole. It's nothing, I finally eke out. Nothing, Orlam leans back, hands to his hips. I'm hurt, Iggy. After all that time we spent together. I don't really remember anything. Everything. I swallow hard, my voice trembling. The memories, they're all a bit fuzzy. This just makes Orlam's grin curl even wider. He saddles up next to me, fingers climbing up the front before tugging teasingly at my collar. Memories weren't the only things fuzzy between us, I remember. I jerked back where his face flushed. But it's too late. Tears are building in my eyes. I really did those things. Fuck. Shame sears my cheeks. I bring my hands under my head, fingers clenched at my curls. Fuck. The people I'd hurt, the atrocities I committed, I turned back to look at Genzo, who was just staring at me wide-eyed. This twists my heart further, forcing tears down my cheeks. I'm sorry, I hiccup. I'm so sorry. I press my palms to my eyes so hard that my head pounds. Sorry? Sorry for what? Orlam laughs, arms splayed in grandiloquence. We had a glorious rule together, you and I. Our own little world for us to command. I can feel Genzo's and Gidget's eyes on me, boring into me, which just makes my fingers twist lighter. My fingers twist tighter. Sweet and Iggy, always blubbering about wanting to make people happy. Orlam practically sings. And in reality, he's just as selfish and corruptible as the rest of them. The thunderclap shakes the walls. And then it grows silent. Silent except for the sound of pouring rain. My stifled snifflings and trembling. Next thing Genzo coughs, clears his throat. So, you did some fucked up things, yeah? You know what? Who the fuck cares? Indeed. As if any one of the rest of us haven't done worse. I blink, lower my arms, part of me questioning my hearing as another part of me begins to unclench itself. Isn't it assumed at this point that this place fucks with your brain? Genzo laughs. Who says we need to hold eggs to some higher standard just because he normally has the gumption of a sun-dried peanut? He's already forgiven me for acts I myself deemed unforgivable. His jaw goes tight. Why would I not forgive him for his own misstep into malignity, or any of us for that matter? That's the way out of this, isn't it? Rising above our mistakes to fix what we've broken. Olm just stares at us, his grin unwavering. He lowers his arms, cocks his head to the side. Positively touching. Orlam, I finally managed to say, my voice still choked with phlegm. Because I need to do something. I need to say something. Something to fix him. Come with us. We're gonna put a stop to all of this. And then because I don't know what else to do, I extend my hand. I see my fingers trembling in the darkness. Illuminating in a flash of lightning from the window. Orlam takes a step back, then another. Cocks his head to the other side. Wait, is it? I see a line right here in the middle. Is that just part of the wall? He starts to laugh. A tiny trail of giggle reverberates through the base of his throat. Look at you three, so precious! The laughter silly from his lips now. If you all love each other so much, why don't you all just marry each other already? He brings his hands to his cheeks, shoulders shaking in mirth. The fuck? We're here, aren't we? To get you. Genzo growls. Despite how hard you fucking made it for us, we can put all this behind us. Another peal of laughter. I'm glad all of you can. Forgive each other. Ha! For your Wonderland transgressions. My suffering started long before that. No one needed to plunge the moral depravity to hate me. To abuse me? A sharp crackle of thunder punctuates his diatribe. Orlam, no one hates you. We all just begin to go stomping forward before I can finish. We're trying to help you, you dumb, ungrateful fuck. He yanks Orlam by the collar with a shake. Orlam seems to find this absolutely hilarious. Oh, look at you, so forceful. He doesn't even try to pull away, head rocking back and forth limply beneath Genzo's grip on his shirt. Have to show everyone that you're the big, strong man, is that it? How's that worked out for you, Hasn't they finally betted his bow? Genzo's eyes go livid and I see his grip tighten further. Oh, but the tables have turned now, haven't they? Would you like to hear about it? All of our delightful time together? How he felt next to me in bed, the sounds he made when I ran my hand through his hair, a laugh high-pitched and shrill in the back of his throat. How does it feel knowing that no matter how hard you try, no matter how close you get to the idealized version of your manhood in your head, you'll never get as close to him as I have? Because his fingers are shaking now, tears spring into the corner of his eyes. Shut up! But Orlam's eyes are already glimmering with untapped mirth. So angry! Are you gonna hurt me? That's all you ever do. You know, hurt people. It's only festering disease that eats people from the inside out. Shut up! Don't you see? Orlam's eyes widen in growing excitement. Wonderland didn't need to turn you into a monster. You already were one. heart clutching in panic as I forward. Guys, Genzo throat cuts me off. He pushes Orlam away with a strangled cry from, and Orlam goes tumbling backwards, landing with a slap on the floor. It goes silent again. Silent save for the audible fizzle and tension crackle in the air. Genzo, I whisper, and Orlam is laughing again. Harder this time. A giant belly laughs as he curls himself in on himself, feet kicking in delight. See? Nothing's changed. Tears streaming down his face. Nothing's fucking changed. Something in the air seems to shift. A chill sweeping past my feet, past my cheeks, sending a trembling shiver up my spine. Willem stumbles, lurches to his feet, still shaking with laughter, his entire body coursing with it. Except for one thing. He swipes his bangs aside with a jerk, his head, his shoulders rocking backwards like a broken doll. Then starts unbuttoning his shirt. Because you see, it doesn't matter anymore. Nothing you say can hurt me. Not anymore. That's when we see it. A long jagged incision splitting the upper left corner of his chest. It's a deep, ugly cleft. Sliced flesh, pink and oozing, bits of yellowish pus. Staples puncturing its length in erratic intervals, making the surrounding skin pucker. I can't feel. More laughter, the force of it making his bangs bounce against his cheeks. Anything anymore. Orlam. I start, eyes trembling in their sockets. What did you do to yourself? He stumbles forward, nearly tumbling to the ground right before running himself with a delightful squeal. The three of us take a step backwards, unable to look away. Do to myself? He hunched forward, pupils shrinking, his eyes pinpricks it as his grin curls impossibly wide. I made myself a god, Iggy! Another cascade of laughter. It shakes his frame in heaving jolts. It can't hurt me anymore. All those memories of pain, suffering, they mean nothing to me. I can live my life in glorious, anesthetized apathy. What the fuck? Even Genzo looked horrified, the color drained from his face. Mom takes another step towards us. Then another. It's unnatural the way he pitches and weaves. Like some kind of undead creature rising from the ground. You know, I was just going to let you go on your way. A growl, but not from Orlam, from above. A low-pitched snarl that ebbs out of the dark, and it curls upwards in the back of his neck, on my neck. What do I care about your little mawkish journey of gallantry after all? And then another and another. Left, right, left. From further back in the room, shrouded in shadow, but approaching closer and closer. But now you've got me reminiscing again. All those dearly beloved moments we shared. Our upper-rose camaraderie. Orlam, I start, but my voice gets stuck in my throat. And Genzo backs up into me. His body ramrod stiff. All three of us just staring. Yes, how could I let you just leave after this touching reunion? Orlam raises his hand, bony wrist bent backwards at a surreal angle, and thumb and middle finger pressed together. After all, I do so love when we all hang out. He snaps his fingers. In that instant, the room goes bright. Lights flickering on one after another, illuminating space, illuminating the... I'm sucking my breath, eyes nearly popping out of my skull. Oh, shit. There's so many of them. I bring my hands to my mouth, my stomach lurches. I am thankful that I put this on censored mode. My god. This honestly... I not only does it save time at editing, but oh my god, I'd have to censor all of this. I bring my hands to my mouth and my stomach lurches. Bodies. Flayed bits of gore and defillery. Hanging from meat hooks, looped around chains and manacles. Carcasses with bone and tissue exposed. Innards dangling like sausages at the... like sausage links at the butchers. They hang from the ceiling and the walls, off bed posts, So much and so many of them. Metal cages rousing half-eaten corpses, viscera strewn over furniture, and rabbits. So many fucking rabbits. Lying amongst the gore, mouths smeared with it, spittle hissing around their teeth. Their growls rise as they start towards us. Low crouches as they sling through the carnage.
Orlam, buddy, maybe we got this whole thing started off on the wrong foot here.
Gizzo attempts to smile, but hands waving in front of him.
What happened to all that vainglorious bravado now?
Gizzo steps backwards, nearly trips.
Pathetic.
Can't even threaten a guy properly. Orlam's eyes flash, grin curving. You see Genzo's eyes widen in faint recognition.
You were pathetic then, you're pathetic now. You wanna know why I despise you? Because you're a pathetic excuse for a human being.
You drive everyone away. That's why everyone avoided you after that accident.
That's why nobody cared that you almost flunked out. That's why your dad left you and your mom to fend for yourselves.
Because you're a pathetic, self-centered asshole. Gizzo's face is white at this point. His eyes strained, his pupils shaking, his brow sunken. Orlam raises his hand the second time, pats his middle finger and his thumb kissing.
And I don't need you in my life anymore.
A snap. In the next second, the rabbits leap. They move like lightning. In a moment, one moment sitting there on their haunches, and the next dizzying flashes of blood and splurge claws streaking across through the air.
Run!
She snaps from her stupor. We twist immediately on my heels, and I twist immediately with my heels, bending my elbow into the door and shoving it open. The leaders go flying out through the door, careening down the hall. Our step is a clamoring cacophony echoing off the walls. I hear the door slam again and again behind us. More rabbits sailing through it, launching themselves at the tile, screaming after us. We must go faster, must go faster, must go faster! I can barely hear, barely think. My shoes slip and slide into the shiny marble underfoot. Then I pitch forward, barely able to control my feet racing as fast as my heart. A flash next to me. Then rabbit launches from the tile in front of us. I nearly jumped, throwing myself to the side, sending both Genzo and Gizzo with me. Turn! We bank right, around the corner. The stairs. Fuck, the stairs! But there's nowhere else to go, so we scramble towards them, screams and shrieks behind us, the hairy scampering of spurred feet on marble. I make it about 5 stairs in my frantic gallop, and I probably miss a step, my feet standing up under me. I'm sliding down my rear end, bumps, cracks, and thuds on my legs, arms, my tailbone. Everything feels like it's happening all around me all at once. My bones bounce and scream at me. A sharp whack to my shins, bringing tears to my eyes. A guttural whack against my ribs takes the air out of me. I make it to the bottom and go rolling across the landing, worlds spinning around me. Gizzo quick to follow, sliding across the floor with a grunt. Gizzo is the only one under feet, shouting out to the bottom steps, frenzied woman's arms. Try to find the rabbit flies past them, cutting off their further instructions. And they said in a back ass word towards the floor. Let's come straight towards me. With a startled cry, I somehow managed to roll out of the way just in time to watch it go sailing past. Sharp cracks from the stairs. Rails are jumping down the railings, leaping off from the landing. Shit. I saw Genzo back to his feet, waving down in the opposite hallway. Gizzo doesn't seem to waste a moment. Despite my bungling, I don't either. Yanking myself back to my feet with a grown effort to take off after them. They were running down the hall after hall. I can hear the clattering behind us. Glass breaking, wood snapping, breathy growls that feel like they're right on my back, on my neck. We turn right, then right again. Racing aimlessly in the dark. Our only goal is to get away from those things, find the sewer entrance, something, anything. But even in daylight, we never have been able to find our way back, let alone the pitch blackness while running pell-mell, around curve after curve. My lungs strained from effort, already spent legs quickly numbing. Sheer adrenaline is all that's keeping me moving at this point. I I'm not sure how much of it we have left. We're approaching a fork. The path splitting into two identical darkened corridors. Go left! I hear Gidget bark. Before I have a chance to question why it stopped in front of us. Leaving Gidget and I no choice but to go take an abrupt left. We go diving in the black hallway. I slam my head sharply against the wall, making my vision dance. By the time I had to look at the time, see Gidget take a stance at the center of the junction, their jaw taut. What the hell are they? Before I have a chance to wonder further, I see the nearest head go swinging towards them. I simply jerk forward, panicked, clutching my chest, but Genzo grabs me in the middle and yanks me back against the wall, fingers across my mouth. And the next one, Gidget spins off in the opposite hallway, disappearing in the black. The rabbits follow, their shrieks still echoing in my head. We sit there, still, not moving, my heart still pounding in overdrive in my chest. My haggard breath pushes against Genzo's palm. Once the sound of footsteps has faded completely away, Genzo relaxes his grip, and both of us slump down on the tile. I bring a hand out to wipe the sweat from my brow. Again and again, my fingers shaky. Then throw a worried glance at Genzo. But what about... Genzo shushes me. I see his gaze go skyward as he listens. Both are just sitting there in silence as we keen our ears against the void. Then, footsteps. Distant and soft, but running. Getting closer. Till they're practically right on us, and here they come sliding around the corner so fast they almost take a nosedive right into the floor. I jerk backwards so fast I slam my head into the wall, heart shooting into my voice box. He just steadies himself and stands up with a little hitch to straighten their mussed shirt. I can see them trying to bury their inner tumult, collect themselves, even as their breath comes out in hairy bursts. They cough and glance down at us. Guess I just gazing up at them. Jerry was right. They do go gaga over that stuff. I sort of look back in the direction they came. But we won't have long. Come on. They stick out their hand and I take it gratefully. Gizzo pushing himself to his feet behind me. Then we begin our jog anew. Getting out of this hallway would be a good first step. Anything that would get us out of their potential path is at least long enough for us to regroup and figure out a plan. We round the next corner into a larger hall lined with windows. I recognize it instantly. A large guest hall where the nobles would wait before important announcements, which means, indeed, there it is. There's a small rectangle of blue light painting the ground in front of the door at the far end. It's ajar then. The entrance to the throne room. I start towards it noiselessly. The world eerily silent aside from the soft taps of my shoes on the tile. The two red doors stand tall and imposing, the same that they had in their heyday. Back then they represented power, excitement, news of revelry, and other grandiose changes to come. Now they represent nothing but memories of ruin. In here, I say simply, as though it will explain the way this room seems to be calling me, beckoning me. I press my hand to the surface of the door, then push. It opens slowly with a drawn-out, rolling creak that sounds like a long-buried coffin being unearthed. Now I cringe at the sound and I don't stop, nursing it open to the gap just wide enough for me to fit. I step inside and look around. It isn't much different than I remember. Alright, I know we're about to head into a very important moment here, but I think this is a good time to leave this video here for now. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to leave a like, comment what you think, share this video with your friends, and be sure to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss a single notification. I'll see all of you in the next video. Goodbye.